For our next story, we focus on the future of U.S.-Africa ties. The outgoing Biden administration is attempting to set a framework for the future of U.S.-Africa relations for the incoming president, Donald Trump. Now, in the latest, the United States Congress has introduced a law that could possibly force Trump to engage with Africa and to invite its heads of governments and heads of state to a summit in Washington, D.C. next year. Trump, who takes oath on the 20th of January, might have to host African Leaders Summit before the end of 2025. The bill would formalize periodic talks into a traditional policy event, something that Donald Trump would not be too keen about. The bill also mandates the Secretary of State to hold city summits focused on sub-regional cooperation. It also lists establishing an implementation office at the State Department to ensure Washington's efforts with Africa translate into tangible outcomes. The annual defense bill, if passed into law, will require that the U.S. Secretary of State host U.S.-Africa leader summits every 4 years. The must-pass bill has already sailed through the House of Representatives and is expected to easily pass in the Senate as well. But this latest push by the Biden administration comes as it faced severe criticism for neglecting Africa. Critics say that Joe Biden did not pay much attention to Africa during his presidency. He hosted the U.S.-Africa Summit in 2022 in Washington, D.C., but it came almost a decade after Barack Obama did it in 2014. His only visit to Africa as president came at the tail end of his tenure, as he visited Angola earlier this month after losing the presidential battle to Trump. And even during this visit, Biden only visited Angola, skipping traditional U.S. allies like Kenya. In Angola, Biden showcased the Lobito Corridor, a new railway project to help transport critical minerals to the West. This project is aimed at countering China's stranglehold on Africa's critical minerals. Joe Biden did repeatedly say that Africa was a valued and important partner, but he failed to match this enthusiasm with substantial deals. For Biden, Africa was approached mostly as a theater for global influence and counterterrorism, rather than as having intrinsic importance to Washington. Now, as he leaves the Oval Office, he has little to show for his Africa policy, beyond the 2022 summit and his visit to Angola. But he wants the incoming Republican to tread the path that he set for the U.S.-Africa ties. Trump being Trump is most likely to dump Biden's plan. He already has a list of executive orders that he wishes to pass as soon as he takes office. And if this does not align with his policies, this bill could be binned too. Now, assessing Trump's 2016 term as president, he and his team are not likely to think much about Africa in the second term either. West Asia, Ukraine, NATO, and China would continue to consume Trump's attention rather than Africa. During his first stint, critics accused him of dismissing Africa, cutting funding, and curbing immigration. He even reportedly referred to some of its nations as shithole countries, which triggered outrage. Despite this and his numerous racist remarks, many African leaders admire Trump's entrepreneurial career and his transactional approach. He did introduce schemes to increase investment in Africa that remained operational even after he left office. But there are concerns that he could roll back on investment and on trade made under the Biden administration. The African Growth and Opportunity Act, which enables eligible African countries to export some of their produce to the U.S. without paying taxes since the year 2000, is also a key point of concern. During his previous administration, Trump said that the scheme would not be renewed after 2025. Now, experts say that he is also more dictator-friendly than Biden was, and he could also show a more friendly face to Russia in Africa. Trump reportedly has a closer relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin than he lets on. And when it comes to China, he recognizes that he needs to maintain some level of partnership to counter Beijing's expansionism. So, as Donald Trump takes office, there's an opportunity for the United States to reset ties with Africa. but the Republican may not want to do it the Biden way.